वासुदेवाय नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुक्तपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणगुणान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण विष्णुदेव प्रभुपाद की प्रिय श्री देवालय स्वामी सुरक्षादास की नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण विष्णुदेव श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष श्रीवादिका स्वामी मुखम करोति वाचालं श्री गुरुदेव हरे कृष्ण। So we are discussing chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. We are now in the text 24. Yonitah sukhonantaramas तथान्तः ज्योतिरेवयः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति। So these are symptoms of someone who is self-realized, who is in Krishna consciousness, his behavior. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Unless one is able to relish happiness from within, how can one retire from the external engagements meant for deriving superficial happiness? A liberated person enjoys happiness by factual experience, activities of life from within. Such a liberated person no longer desires external material happiness. This state is called Brahma Bhuta, attaining which one is assured of going back to Godhead, back home. So this is the platform of liberation. Brahma Bhuta means, see there are two terms. One is Jiva Bhuta, the other one is Brahma Bhuta. Jiva Bhuta meaning when the Atma is locked in the material body. This is Jiva. And Brahma Bhuta means someone who is situated on the platform of Brahman. So one whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within. Someone who is not interested in the external sense enjoyment that everybody wants. Done with all this. He's done with all this. He doesn't see anything worthwhile in it. Not even interested. Everybody's running after it. He's not interested. Why? Because he has understood that he's actually not the body, the soul, and he's interested in the soul. Alright? I'm reading the books and I'm hearing again and again, I'm not the body, the soul. But unless and until you accept it and you want it that way, there's no question of disinterest in material life. You understand? You know you are not the body, you are the soul, but even then, you want sense enjoyment. So therefore you will go on running after sense enjoyment. So this person here, who is satisfied, meaning he's deciding this is what he wants. He doesn't want the external happiness, so he's peaceful.
Totally satisfied with whatever things are.
Yeah, I see.
He's bothered with this world.
Yes. So yeah, I see. We are in the body. What can I do if my body breaks? You can't do anything about it, right? It's just nature is moving, right? My teeth is falling off. What can I do? My hair is going grey, black. What can I do about it? Let it be. But for me, I am again. He's satisfied. A liberated person enjoys happiness by factual experience. He can therefore sit silently at any place and enjoy the activities of life from within. So what are these activities of life? Activities of life from within. What is it?
Satisfied and happy with his soul.
Yeah, but we need to know what are the other activities of life that make us give up these external activities, right? We should have an idea of Krishna's program in Vrindavan, right? Otherwise, again we get directed, isn't it? We should find an interest to be part of Krishna's Leela. So that's why all these books are there, describing Krishna Leela. Right?
If we go into much breathing and much of the japas and all, that will be also one way of
Yes. When we are doing the japa, we are listening to Krishna's name. I'm with Krishna. I'm actually with Krishna. Or I'm hearing the kirtan. Right? I'm with Krishna. And so, such beautiful poetry has been written by so many acharyas. Beautiful songs, right? So hearing all this, I'm with Krishna. So when I look at the words, why are they wasting their time? Right? So such a liberated person no longer desires external material happiness. So this is Brahma Bhuta. So when we are on that platform, meaning that at the time of death, I have no interest in the material world. Right? I have zero interest in the material world. I'm interested only in spiritual and enjoyment. I want to be with Krishna. I want to be with Krishna.
Then you overcome the fear of death also.
Yes. Like when we hear about the love of the Brajvasi for Krishna, right? Do you have experience of any such type of love? Do you have experience? Yes. Something, right?
Because they didn't treat him as a god, they treated him as a friend, and the love for Krishna.
Yeah. So the way the Brajvasi couldn't live without Krishna. See, in this world, we get attached to people and then we become detached also. Right? As soon as they do something wrong, we, like husband and wife. How is it that husband and wife, which is supposed to be the strongest attachment, how is it that they fight and they divorce? They become haters of each other? How is that possible? Right?
The more we are closer to Krishna, the more we are detached to our relations.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that in the material world, right, do we experience this type of love that doesn't break? That doesn't break? That you say something, I say something, and then we are friends today, tomorrow we become enemies. Right? So when we hear this Krishna Katha, we hear the love that doesn't diminish, which doesn't decrease, which is not forgotten in course of time. Right? This is what we call love. Right?
Day by day it's increasing.
Yes. Like they say,
Closer to.
Yeah, like they say if, there's fight between husband and wife, then they say they should still stay put together. They say if they separate, gradually they will get used to be without each other. and it's okay, right? Whereas in Krishna Prema, the gopis, the gopas, they cannot give up Krishna at any point. You follow? So that's the difference between material affection. Yes. Text 27-28. Sparashan kritva bahirbahyam. Oh, page turn by the way. Labhante brahma nirvanam. Vishayakshena karmasaha. Chinnadvaidha yatatmanaha. Sarvabhuta hiterataha. You will read? So sorry, just careful when you take this. Huh?
Labhate, achieve Brahma Nirvanam, liberation in the Supreme. Rasa, Rishaya, those who are active within. Sheena Kalmasha, who are devoid of all sins. Chinna, having stone of Dvaidada, duality. Yatatmana, engaged in self-realization. Sarva Bhuta, for all living entities. hite in welfare work, rata, engage. Those who are engaged, those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. Purport. Only a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountainhead of everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. One cannot be engaged in such first class welfare work without being liberated in the Supreme. A Krishna consciousness person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely freed from all sins. This is the state of divine love. A person engaged only in ministering to the physical welfare of human society cannot factually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord. When a man is fully consciousness of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle. New word.
Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins. So, two things are remembered. How we can become liberated. Number one, who's beyond the dualities that arise from doubts. Meaning, should I be Krishna conscious or should I engage in self gratification? So it's okay, we can enjoy this anyway, this another life, we can meet later, right? So someone who's thinking that way, he cannot become liberated. He will get the next life, right? He will get the next life. So it's okay, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's okay. So that's how we are thinking. Those minds are engaged within. So someone who's not sending his senses and targeting, all enjoyment, scanning what is there that I can enjoy today. Right? So people who can understand what about the soul, that it is miserable, that the soul has entered a material body that is temporary, that's full of misery. So when the soul has understood this, then he will send his mind inside. He will not want external things. The whole worldly enjoyment will blessings. So these minds are engaged with who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings. So this is a symptom of someone who is self-realized. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. This verse is often quoted by our Guru Maharajas because they are working for the welfare of
Mankind. So,
Prabhupada and all our Guru Maharajas. And that's why they're pushing us, and that's why we're pushing everybody. Work for the welfare of others. Right? So we're always busy working for the welfare. Gita, Sarva Bhuta, Ite Rataha. He's always engaged. His work sins. Free from all sins. Meaning that no meat-eating, intoxication, gambling, and sex. Right? Free from all sins. He can achieve liberation in the Supreme. Only a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities, right? Right? When a person is actually in the knowledge of Krishna fountain, head of everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. Now, Prabhupada is explaining this one point. See, we are seeing people are suffering, right? We are seeing this. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna and the Supreme Employer, the Supreme Proprietor, and the Supreme Friend. Why are people suffering? Just like maybe I told you that maybe on Sunday, right? Sunday. And so we have this book distribution, felicitation, so many lakh of books were distributed, right? So different speakers were speaking, and we have Swami said three things. What did he say? Do you remember?
First, he said that we have to distribute good, and we don't have to only distribute, we have to apply the teachings in our life. So the life will change.
Teach.
And we must teach also then what is written inside the books, what is there. And the third thing was that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to be happy. So if we want like make him happy, so we have to teach also these things, and we have to learn ourselves.
Yeah. So say that if you distribute the books, now laugh and books are going out, right? But people will take the book and keep it at home. And not read it, they don't understand. Maybe they read it. All of us will have this experience. I remember I took the read, close it, right? So meaning that our duty also is to teach. If you don't teach the book, how will people do? They, in good faith, they take a book. Maybe to please you, they take a book. Or maybe you say, please take it as a donation. You take it. Now it's in their hands when they don't understand anything. Right? So Prabhupada said, so we are Swami said, Prabhupada wants us to distribute the book, read the book, and then teach the book. Alright? And here comes the point. Why Prabhupada wants this knowledge to be distributed? Because people are suffering. Right? And Srila Prabhupada wants, so this is based on this verse, right? Srila Prabhupada wants people to be happy. So how will they be happy? Because in Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that you have forgotten Krishna. Because you forget Krishna, you start fighting among yourselves. Right? We read in that small book, Path of Perfection. Prabhupada explained, he's saying that if my finger becomes disease, it creates pain to the whole body, yes. Whole body. He says, similarly, we are all parts and parcel of Krishna. And when one part of his creation becomes disease, it creates pain for me also. Because we are part and parcel of him. Yeah? Can you imagine?
Very deep meaning.
No? So he's saying that when you become disease, all of us were diseased, right? So we are diseased. So we are causing pain to Krishna because we are part and parcel of him. Just like my finger is diseased, the whole body suffers. Right? So then, I will explain more. He said that when this finger gets disease, then what do we do? We may have to cut it off. We may have to cut it off. Right? So, he said that when this part, meaning that this jiva, who is diseased. So they are all collected together and they are placed in the material world. Meaning those parts that are diseased, alright, they are collected together and put in the material world for reformation in hospital, right? Or a criminal department, you want to be criminals. So you are placed in a separate place, right? So we say this is a fall down from our constitutional position. So here the sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna. So why we forget Krishna? Because if we remember Krishna, then we say, who is he? Oh, he is the enjoyer. Right? Krishna the enjoyer. Like my finger has to work for the body. Right? The finger cannot be independent. The finger has no choice but to work for the body. Right? So if I don't want to work for the body, then I'm removed. So this is a fall down from the constitution. So when I'm reviving my relationship, when I accept that Krishna can enjoy. So Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is not meant to serve anybody. Just like all the parts serve the body doesn't serve the parts. Right? We are made of so many parts, right? So all the parts serve the body. Similarly, and the body doesn't serve the parts. Right? So similarly, Krishna is not meant to serve anybody. So I had one study say, the stomach, right? The stomach. So there was some talk on all the body parts. Right? So the hand saying that, I have to pick up food, I have to cut everything and then put in the stomach. The eye say, I have to look at all the vegetables and what are ingredients and I have to, and the hand has to look. And then the leg say, this stomach, he is eating and I have to go shopping, right? And the ear is saying that, I have to hear, maybe the whistle of this cooker, right? And then the nose is saying, I have to smell the aroma, right? Whether it's the right spice or wrong spice, and who's enjoying the stomach. So all the bodily parts said, we go on strike. Right? All the bodily parts said, we go on strike today. We will not work. And we are working only on the stomach. Right? So everybody stopped working and the stomach, what?
Empty, hungry.
Yeah, the stomach became empty, right? And then there was no more what? Energy, right? No energy. So from the stomach, you're getting energy to the eyes, to the ears, to the taste, to the hands, to the legs, right? So everything started to
Become weak.
Weak and dying, right? So everybody understood that our work is to serve the stomach. Alright? Heard this story a number of times. So we can't be envious of Krishna. Alright? The source of our energy. We can't be envious of him.
Ask one question. I think sometimes I personally myself, I keep fast, not to disturb stomach. Is it good or
No, we do have fasting. Twice a week, twice
Twice
a
a
month.
month.
We have fasting Ekadashi.
but apart from 2 days, even then in between, I also take Greek. No
There are many
cooking.
festivals. There are
No
many
cake.
festivals. And in those festivals you have to fast anyway. So I go fasting. If you take a calendar, right, and like especially when in month of from Shravan, oh my God, on
Yes.
the end of Kartik, every single 7 days is a fasting, right? So many festivals,
Yes.
right? Balram Jayanti will come, Radhashtami will come,
But
Janmashtami
apart
will
from
come.
all this, even then in between I took break.
That's okay.
That's
That's
okay.
okay, yes. That's okay, yes. Take it. Give a break and don't control the senses.
Intentionally I want to control my Indriya.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's good. Actually, you should give up eating altogether. That's the best. Right? Waste time cooking, eating, washing. Right?
No, but we have to give Krishna. So we can't do that, Mataji.
So waste of time, right? But as you said, you're happy to do it selfishly. But right?
Whatever I make for Krishna and I first unko मैं भोग लगाता हूँ then I
Yes. Yeah. Proper.
और जब मैं नहीं बनाती हूँ तो फिर भोग भी नहीं लगता है.
We will give fruits. Yeah, like suppose we also have in a house, we do now all seva. So suppose we are going out or something and we are coming late and all, then we keep fruits and biscuits and something for God.
Biscuits from the shop. Homemade biscuits.
Then we keep for dry fruits.
No, see, dry fruits. It's okay. But make sure it is eatable.
Yes, yes.
I remember when I first came to India, when people started giving me, these dry fruits and I couldn't chew. It was breaking my teeth. What they gave me was this apricot, dry apricot.
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't know what it was. Then later I discovered it's something that you soak.
Ah, yes, yes,
So picking a fruit,
yes, yes.
even this kacha, almonds. How do you know the kacha almonds to Krishna? Soak it,
Yes.
right?
Kishmish and all you can eat.
Yes. Which you can keep.
Kaju also you can eat. Pista. Yes.
Soft and detailed, right? If you go through one, you can your baby Krishna will eat, right? So therefore, keep a stock of sweets, right? Eat for 1 week.
Yes.
Eat burfi,
Yes.
right? Coconut burfi,
Yes.
right? It will stay well. So you can always offer small amounts, right? Why, quick, right? Done with it, you take cover.
Yes.
If you want to give, this almond, make a nice almond burfi. You'll be so happy. This is engagement, this is activity for you, right?
We keep all both, and we have Jagannath ji, so khichdi is made every day because that's the favorite of the Lord. So every day one item
What's the
khichdi.
name of this devotee who was given kitchen?
Yes.
Bhagavad?
She used to give every day to Krishna. Yes.
Jagannath.
Yes,
right?
Jagannath.
Oh my goodness. If you want to learn what is bhakti, learn from these simple things, right? Many. She's cooking. Jagannath is
Coming,
to the
yes,
house
yes,
to eat, right?
yes.
So you just, with my left hand, I say with my left hand, just put some water and then I go off. No. Make nice sweets. And see, India is rich with recipes. And that you distribute to your guests. Isn't it? You're going out, you're going to take some gift, and you're going out, right? Full box. Every day you collect one full box. Give.
Krishna.
Yeah, you can just eat the whole day and whole month. You have to eat rest. Yeah, so Krishna is supreme and God is supreme proprietor. That's not thinking, everything belongs to him, and in this world everybody is part of the property. Right? And I said, no, it belongs to Krishna. Are you going to agree to it? Right? My house, externally in India, people say, yes, the house is yours. What they mean is that the house is Krishna's, right? Everything is attached to their house. Right? So much so that they don't even want to die and leave a place. Right? We should be able to die and leave our house. And the house to which we are most attached is this body. We can't even die. We will still commit suicide. But we should not be attached to the body. Right? And Krishna was supreme friend. To display that Krishna is my enemy. To believe that Krishna is my enemy. Therefore, I won't give him anything. Right? So here's the question of happiness. Now, identify Krishna as my enemy. Right? Anything that happens that's waiting, why is that happening?
I think whatever is happening in the wrong way or something, I think that it's my fault. That's why Krishna has given me or this is my own karma.
Do you know how it is my fault? I gave the example of this finger that became disease. Right? And it had to be cut. So Prabhupada is saying these jivas who are diseased get collected together and placed in one part of the creation. Alright? This is my fault. So therefore we have to become healthy again. Alright? So when we are placed in this part of the creation, which is meant for criminals, Prabhupada speaks about the police department. We are under the jurisdiction of the police department. Right? So if we want to become released from that department, then we have to become healthy again. So we have to go through the process by which we become healthy. So therefore we have to act for them. We have to think for them, about them. Right? So see, we don't just sit and blame, yes, I'm wrong, it's all my fault, I'm wrong, etc., etc. We should go to the original fault. Right? What's the original fault?
We have left Krishna.
To the original fault. So I made mistake after mistake, mistake after mistake. Even when I do little good, I do so many bad. Right? My list of good and then my list of bad. Right? Therefore, to revive this consciousness within the entire human society, the highest level of love. So, what we have been discussing, so we distribute the books and we teach. So, I hope that after 3 years, immediately also now, you can tell, or whether you're studying, you can tell, that after 3 years, you should be able to systematically teach somebody. It takes 3 years. Because you need to mature yourself and you need to see how it works for you, right? How you meet the challenges in life, how you apply them, and you more stronger representation. Immediately, whatever you're learning, you can still learn something. such first-class delicate work without being liberated in the Supreme. Right? A Krishna conscious person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. Right? That's what they're saying. If I think Krishna is my enemy, right? Or I think Krishna, okay, is secondary, not the first one. I will go to Krishna when I need him. When I don't need him, okay, then his put aside. When Krishna is the person before I go, he has no doubt because he's completely free from all sins. This is the state of divine love. I'm completely convinced that Krishna is the supreme law. Because I'm the enemy. And when we are having enemy, when I look committing sinful activities, if I'm committing sinful activities, I become more and more envious. I don't want anybody to correct me. Right? I don't knowingly, I want to do the activities. Again, God says, why should I not do sin? Sin means to go against the instruction of the law. Alright? So it's like the person says, why should I care for this government? I don't care for this government. Why should I follow these laws? So Bhagavad said, you may say like that, why should I care for this government? But if you say, why should I care for the government, the police department means care for you. Isn't it? So this is, so when you have no doubt that Krishna is supreme, so this will happen only when we are free from all sins. I will just explain what is the meaning of being free from sins. Sin meaning that we deliberately disobey the laws of God. An example is given that I deliberately go against the laws of the state. Rather than say, I don't care for God. I'm not interested in God. It's as good as saying, I'm not interested in the government. And when we say this, then we are jailed. Alright? So, why we not follow the laws of God? Why? Isn't it? Isn't it? If I have love, then I will do. Just like parents, mother will say, you love me, you do it. Right? It's how we tell, right? Isn't it? You say, do this, do this, do this, you know, your child must do this. And you will say, huh? You love me?
Yes, then we will do.
So unless we develop love for Krishna, we cannot give up sin. And unless we give up sin, we can't love Krishna. Hello? A person engaged only in ministering to the physical welfare of human society cannot actually help anyone. Temporary relief of the difficulty of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. Now, people are so depressed because angry, competitive, right? The whole life now is about competition. Who is sitting next to you because you're competitive, right? Man, woman, they have any one idea. Compete with the other one, right? So everybody is becoming depressed, right? When we have such emotions of competition, envy, jealousy, the soul becomes dark. Right? Soul actually becomes depressed, dark. The mind goes low. Right? Not only when you can put up the person behavior, you can put up wake up that soul. So therefore, unless people become Krishna conscious physically, mentally, or spiritually, there's no out. So if person engage only in ministering to the physical welfare of human society, cannot actually help anyone. So maybe you give a sweet, you give some money or something, and make the person smile. The next moment is really depressed, right? Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. You also know you have wasted your time, right? That the person is still remaining where they are. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme God. So remember that this Kali-yuga, it is a hard struggle for life. As it is, in the material world it is hard, but Kali-yuga is specifically hard. Why? Because people are pitiless. Pitiless. How we have constructed this Bombay city? How we have constructed this Bombay city? Right? You know what place to live? Right? You know place to live? You don't even have place to walk. There's no air to breathe. Right? And you put the people out from fresh air. Right? And this is just because of factories, industries. Right? So it is pitiless. And people will keep on bring more. People. What? For me. You can do what I said. For me. Right? So it is very harsh. Somehow because we in Bombay, so I have to study a little bit what's going on in Bombay, how to travel, where's Bombay, I didn't know where Bombay, so I wasn't that too lucky and that. So I saw the whole district of, actually where we are now, Bombay only tiny piece, actually the whole area, Manu owns, now we go on expanding, so it's very people now. Then people are traveling from Thane to here to work, right? And this side, how will they travel? How will trains, right? What is because of speaking? You know how many people have died of speaking? You know how many people have died of speaking? The most dangerous vehicle is speaking.
Bikes.
Bike, a bike. Most dangerous. Young people, right? You are exposed, right? All your heavy in the trains.
They're just hanging.
How many people have died and left behind young children? Right? How many? Tell me. I know personally. Right? So people have died. How many have died? Right? I know how many people have died. Many, that's why I know people are close to us, right? So it has trouble specifically the people of India. India became pitiless because of current situation. They've been trained to be without mercy. This is not the Vedic civilization. The Vedic civilization is a civilization of sharing. You mercy. This is the British civilization. Everybody shares. But with the fall down, invaders go only after conquering and looting. Right? They have made the people become vessels. But how can we stop the famine? How can we stop the passage of famine? Right? So anyway, this is a long story, and the root cause of it all is one point we study the history of Bhagavad. We find how things themselves they became sense and joyous. Right? When they become sense and joy, then bigger sense and joy come conquer them. And when you more intent, so this is the actual time. So do you want to stay for the no. Those things will get better. Every year, there's a new government, new rules, everything is happening in the new year, the aim to be started first. Right? It's not going to get any better. Right? You know, like one lady has to know this whole astrological prediction for this year, was it better last year or the year before? Every year this us bad. So was it this? So you will go and look in all horoscope and they say, what is the prediction, right? The prediction it is no better than last year. Right? Isn't it? So this is the scenario where yes, we can have all these problems. So when Imran is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, is actually liberates soul. Organ relating the material, tabernacle, that is in the body. And everyone knows this.
कामक्रोध विमुक्तानां यत्नाम यतचेतसः निर्वाणो वर्तते विदितात्मना. Kama from desires, krodha and anger, vimuktanam of those who are liberated, yatinam of the saintly persons, yatachetasam who have full control over the mind, abhita assured in the near future, brahma nirvanam liberation in the supreme, vartate is there, vidita atmanam of those who are self-realized. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. Purport of the saintly persons who are constantly engaged in striving towards salvation, one who is in the Krishna consciousness is the best of all. The Bhagavatam 4.22.39 confirms this fact as follows. Yat पद पंकज पलाश विलास भक्त्या कर्मास्यम ग्रथितम उद्रथ्यांति सन्तः तद्वान्न रिक्त मतयो यतयोपि रुद्ध श्रोतो गणास्तम अर्णम भज वासुदेवम. Just try to worship in devotional service Vasudev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even great sages are not able to control the forces of the senses as effectively as those who are engaged in transcendental bliss by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, uprooting the deep-grown desire for fruitive activities. In the conditioned soul, the desire to enjoy the fruitive results of work is so deep-rooted that it is very difficult even for the great sages to control such desires. Despite great endeavors, a devotee of the Lord constantly engaged in the devotional service in Krishna consciousness perfect in self-realization, very quickly attains liberation in the Supreme. Owing to his complete knowledge in self-realization, he always remains in trance. To cite an analogous example of this, Darshana Dhyana Samparshar Matsya Kurma Vihangamaha Swani Aptyani Pushnanti Tatham Api Padmaja. By vision, by meditation, and by touch only do the fish, the tortoise, and the birds maintain their offspring. Similarly, do I also, O Padmaja. The fish brings up its offspring simply by looking at them. The tortoise brings up its offspring simply by meditation. The eggs of the tortoise are laid on land, and the tortoise meditates on the eggs while in the water. Similarly, the devotee in Krishna consciousness, although far away from the Lord's abode, can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of him constantly, by engagement in Krishna consciousness. He does not feel the pangs of material miseries. This state of life is called Brahma Nirvana, or the absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme.
So this verse is a very, it's a mystical verse. See, spiritual progress. The spiritual progress happened by, it's a mystical process because from the material you are entering the spiritual. And it's not a physical thing. Just like the soul moves from one ghost body to another ghost body. You can see it. You can detect it. You can detect. Very simple. Very simple. When somebody dies, right? People go to the funeral. And how do they speak of the entity that's lying down? They speak of the body, right? Nobody speaks of the person by the name. Is it? No. What you said, did you go and see Mommy, Chachi, Dada? Nobody says like this. Everybody says, did you see the body? Right? Isn't it? So, it's something that mystical. The soul has passed from one state to another. It's something mystical. Now, the liberation of the soul also is mystical. Mystical means that you are not seeing it with your gross senses. So, those who are free from anger and material desires, who are self-realized, we can share. So those who are free from anger and all material desires were self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very moment of consciousness. Right? Really, it's work. Sometimes you sit here and you go by itself. So all the saintly persons were constantly engaged in striving towards salvation. So there are many types of people who are striving for salvation. Like we have the Jnanis, the Ashtanga yogis, and the Bhakti yogis. Right? The Bhagavatam confirms, so the best is someone who is in Krishna consciousness. Is the best way. The Bhagavatam 4:22-25 just try to worship this indevotional service, Vasudeva, the Supreme Person Godhead. Even great sages are not able to control the forces of the senses as effectively as those who are engaged in transcendental bliss by serving the lotus feet of the Lord but producing the deep growing desire for fruitive activities. Now, there are two examples. Both have to give your example. The example of eating. Alright? So, what are we saying that I stop eating and this is how we control my senses? And then we say that I offer more to Krishna, right? So here what is being said is that it is good to restrain from eating, but what if one day your senses want to take revenge? You cannot. I so much control, restrain that one day the senses burst out and say, I just want to eat, I just want to have this, I want to have that. Right? I have experience with this. You have to cook every day the same plain, and one day I say, why? This is, right? You can't control. Therefore, the process of offering the food is higher than just restraining unnecessary when it's not required. So, we have prescribed fastings, which we must do, but increasing, the hunger strike, just to control the senses one day, they take revenge, right? So, therefore, here, see that whereas we are engaged in cooking and offering to Krishna, my vow will be, I will not eat anything that is not offered to Krishna. Right? Whereas when the senses take revenge, anywhere, anything is okay. Alright? So here this verse is saying higher than this compulsory control, offer your activity to Krishna. Right? Offer your activity to Krishna. Give you another example. Very important, that was my experience. Like, there are some organizations. Okay? So what will they do? They will only sit and meditate. Alright? Sit down and meditate with this. And I didn't know that actually who have met their own like social workers. I didn't know the philosophy. They were teaching philosophy, but I only know they keep on opening this hospital, that hospital, this, and so for me that was the practice. But actually that was not their original practice. Their original practice was only sitting and doing hot yoga or whatever yoga they were doing. But after some time they would go. Right? They were bored. So they open, this hospital, that hospital, bringing that, one. Right? In Krishna consciousness body, we say your own home, your own activity, mold your life in such a way that you never go of Krishna. Women, we have to cook. I hope women are cooking. Alright? If you're not cooking, please start cooking. Right? You clean your house. Right? You have to clean your house. Right? Whatever work you will be doing, doesn't matter. Do it with the idea that I'm doing it for Krishna. Whatever earnings I'm having, that earning is being used in Krishna's service. Right? So when you think that way, then you are becoming Krishna conscious. You are not denying anything, you are denying only simple activities. Alright? Meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex. These are simple activities and it is 100% you are denying. Prohibition, right? That you are not stopping to eat. Right? You are not stop from sleeping. Right? You are not even stop from being married. But you have to do religious marriage. Alright? And if you have children, the children should be raised to become devotees of Krishna. Alright? So this is what's being explained here. In the conditioned soul, the desire to enjoy the fruitive result of what is so deep-rooted, that even very sages, one we don't know one who went wild. Right? So a devotee of the Lord constantly engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness, perfect in self-realization, very quickly attains liberation in the Supreme. Why? Because he is in trance. So the example is given here from I don't know which quotation is given. I don't know from where it is. Darshana Vyala Samparshai. So the fish, the tortoise, and the birds, they maintain their offspring from a distance. They are watching and they are maintaining the offspring. Main thing is that way of mind is. Alright? Where the mind is. So that's why I'm saying that Krishna consciousness is separate, it is spiritual, it's mystical. So how, when you are meditating on Krishna while doing your work, you see mundane and ordinary, right? Like devotees. Like devotees, they are doing all the household work. But they are always thinking, speaking about Krishna, right? So their attachment for Krishna is very strong, they describe. I never failed. At no point even with separation. The attachment of the devotees of Krishna at no point faded and forgotten. Right? Similarly, if we practice, we do our work while thinking of Krishna, right? Our attachment for Krishna will grow. And we didn't even realize how we have become attached to Krishna. They say, you see, previously in the Vedic system is that marriage is done among children, right? So children meaning like, new Prabhupada says, latest 16 years old and boy 23-year-old. Prabhupada says, latest. And when they come together, so the girl is trained to do service. Right? Cooking, cleaning, washing, everything she's doing. And in the beginning, they don't even know each other. Right? They don't know each other. But there are two things. One for children, young, right? And their mind is fresh. It's not already taken up by so many thoughts and so many attachments. Right? So, when they work for each other like this, they become attached. And therefore, they will direct one another. Right? Until the right time. Bhagavad. Okay? So this is the point here. Similarly, the devotee Krishna consciousness, although far away from the Lord's abode, can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of him constantly, by engagement in Krishna consciousness. He doesn't feel the pangs of material miseries. This state of life is called Brahma Nibbana, or the absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme. Brahma Nibbana, meaning that we are relaxed. See, all of us, we have this from everything in us. We have suffered so much in this world. So many lifetimes we have suffered so much. All that memory is there in us. So therefore, we are always making some plan how to escape suffering. But here, Bhagavad is explaining that we can relax and trust Krishna. That he will take care of me and my needs. And there is no reason. Because we keep on making plans, I know for myself, always thinking, this has happened, that has happened, I won't do this, I won't do this. So here, Brahman Nirvan, or that sense of material is due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme. Yeah, something amazing again that I noticed, like how, I think we have mentioned it a couple of times before, you know how like India has such a deep culture, super culture, right? And but even though I said that we have become contaminated and influenced by this, but there is a lot that has remained intact. Now, how is it that whatever is still left, right? How is it that this is untouched? Because the people, they continued in their own ways. They continued in their own ways, even though on a higher level, something is happening, but the general people, they continued. Right? They continued with their daily life, their daily routine, their daily belief, their daily systems. They continued, and this is how India has survived. Similarly, if despite what may be happening in this world, if we continue to do our work in Krishna consciousness, at the time of death we are removed entirely from this world. We are not affected by what is going on top. It's the art of living in a material world which is full of suffering and danger. It's the art of living. Live in your own consciousness. Live in your own bubble. There are different types of bubbles. There is the bubble of illusion, where you believe that you're safe and happy. You know, like let's say the rabbit, the danger comes over his eyes. This is one kind of bubble. So there is the bubble of illusion, believing that I will be happy in this world. And there is the bubble of the self-realized souls. So now you are being trained to pass on to another realm of existence even while living in this body. This is the gist of this chapter. Actually, Krishna consciousness, Parama means how to work in this world so that you remain in Krishna consciousness. You have any question?
Mataji, can you repeat this? This just what like what? This summary of this chapter, like you said, work in Krishna consciousness.
The summary of this chapter we are being trained to work in Krishna consciousness so that we live in our bubble of Krishna consciousness and the outside world doesn't touch us. Example was giving of this lotus leaf and water. Now we are reading about yes. There's so much absorbing the world that they're bringing up their offsprings. So our mind, we are in the material world or in the spiritual world through our mind. So if we shift our mind from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness, even though we may be in this material body, because we have shifted the mind from material consciousness, we are living in Krishna consciousness in this world. What is chapter is explained. What's your name? Priyanka. You have some question? We have done that. Yes. We are not saying balancing the ways of engagement. So that's why that you are earning. That earning you are using to come to Krishna. So therefore, your earning has become Krishna conscious. Your intention is Krishna. Let's give another example. You have to eat. What you are eating is material, but you are offering to Krishna. Therefore, it is becoming Krishna Prasad, it is spiritual. It's not a question of balancing. It's a question of transformation from state of matter into spiritual. Yes. So this is the process. See the process. So meaning that even a household, alright? Now in household life, because there are so many desires, nobody enters household life and then there is a desire for sense gratification. Alright, this is prevention. Alright? But this household life, can you close this door? So here, then we gradually shift our desires. Right? So, because there is a desire for sense gratification, so a license is given. According to Brahma, that you behave in this way, you do this samskar, so this is what we call diva samskar, and then there is a whole list of duties that you have to do in the household life. Right? And you have to train yourself to go through it. You know how these vows, they have meaning. Right? We should actually listen. And we should again and again think about this marriage vows. But still in one vows. Why these vows? Because we don't think that God will do really permission. Right? It is so easy. Right? One and two come together so much easily. Third one, equal, fourth one, and fifth one, right? So much easily. Right? So those vows is your tapasya. Right? It's your tapasya in household life. But the Vedic Shastra is not saying that you always stay in household life. No. It's saying once your children are grown up, they are no longer your responsibility. And the children should let you go. Why? Because now your time of complete dedication has come. When you are now decreasing your desire for sense enjoyment. If you speak of balancing, the balancing is more in the household phase. Right? And when you progress, you go into more Bhakta stage. Then you are completely eradicating your desire for sense enjoyment. You are now transforming everything in Krishna state. So balance comes only in household life. And if you are brahmachari whole life, it is only in transforming desires in Krishna consciousness. That's the process. So, two different persons. Everybody is not in the same stage of spiritual level. Usually that happens because in previous lives, I have already done all that stuff. So I have learned my lessons. Alright? So when I come in this life, I say now dedication only in spiritual progress. And I don't want any self gratification. Alright? You follow this point? Any other questions? Alright. Thank you very much. No, no, no.